Hi, I just realized going into about 3 weeks from open heart surgery, this week I realized that I suck at suffering. And I bet you do too. It's incredible because I always know what I'm going to achieve. I always know my goal. I always know what type of love I want to bring to the world. In 1994, we published the 12 Stage of Healing, where I said there are 12 stages in the healing or the awakening process. I've written articles for people on the awakening program and awakening road that while they want to add more soul energy, most actually need to be more of the lower energies of the bio or the emotional energy. And suffering is the first stage. When I wrote the book, The 12 Stages of Healing, so many people said, why do you have to start with suffering? I say, that's what I ask, but that's where it is. Repeat after me. Sometimes it seems, and I seem, so disconnected. Sometimes it seems like it's never gonna ever end. Sometimes it seems so helpless. Sometimes I seem so powerless. Powerful statements. And here I was going in for open heart surgery. And yes, I kept telling myself so I could bring more gifts to the world, so I could be with my family, my kids, and the grandkids. But the underlying theme of all of it was moving away from dying. No matter how I rationalized it. And then I had surgery, and I was doing great. And I got back out of the hospital, and I'm still on the opiates. The happy juice. It's not even happy, it's just muting everything to a low level of energy so the mind doesn't get focused and you have enough energy just to survive. And I was practicing my somato-respiratory integration, touching my body and focus on breath, energy, emotion, and I couldn't do it. I started zoning out. It was too painful. And I realized I did everything to avoid the experience that I'm helpless and I might die. And the magic necessary required me to experience that, to kick on the genes, to kick on the proteins that would only happen when I realize that I might die. And what that experience is, that there is no help available. The magical help of the surgery. The magical help of all the prayers you gave to me. And suddenly I realized I am helpless. I skipped stage 1. I skipped the experience of utter suffering. And now the drug was helping me to do that. So I decided I had to experience suffering better. I had to experience the helplessness of it. And I had a night from hell. In the morning, I started laughing. Because here it is, I wrote the book on 12 Stages of Healing with the first stage of suffering. And here it is, I was avoiding it. After I worked with countless thousands of people in learning to suffer effectively. You can, in 3 to 5 minutes, take the surface of suffering you've been on for years and bring it to conclusion. And suddenly know there are answers available. There are magical answers available. And you start laughing because you realize that everything is impermanent. And those things you can't be with, or you won't accept, or you won't acknowledge, those are the things that last painfully. Well, the next morning, I went to do my somato-respiratory integration. I was able to connect to the breath, the movement, the energy. My mind opened up. It focused differently. And things were different. Even the deepest suffering can turn to joy in a moment when you become aware of it as it is, without the hunger to change it or make it something else. When you give voice to acknowledge it yourself and someone else. I called some people and said, I've been terrible at suffering. And I started laughing with more energy. And the third thing is accept that's the way it is sometimes. When the 12 Stage of Healing book was first published, I was on a television show in Toronto, and a woman called up, and she said, I have multiple sclerosis. She says, and I don't have the use of my legs, I'm losing the use of my arms. She said, and my son committed suicide, my husband left me, my business went bankrupt, and now they're going to take my apartment away and I'm losing the use of my arms. I said, well, are you suffering? She says, no, I never suffer. Are you helpless? She says, no, I'm a survivor. I said, then no one can help you. She said, what do you mean? No one can help you. Because until you admit that you're lost, and the way you're going about life, the way you're using energy and experiencing life is not working, there is no help. How much more do you have to lose? You lost your job. You lost your husband. You lost your son. You lost losing your apartment. You lost your legs. You're losing your arms. What else do you have to lose before you finally realize this is not working and I'm suffering? It is liberation. And remember, there are 11 more stages after that. So I want to thank you for all the love and support you've been for me. And thank you for those people who told me it's going to get better, you're going to be on the other side of it. And I also want to thank those few people who told me, I know it sucks, it's going to suck for a while. I didn't want to believe that. But once I accepted it, things accelerated wonderfully. Thank you, and God bless.